Today I am interviewing Mike Barron. So, what branch of service were you in?
U.S. Air Force.
What were your dates of service?
Uh, June of 55 to July of 75. 20 years.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
Enlisted.
Why did you join?
Oh, I missed the draft and I wanted to get their service over with. And after I got in there, I stayed 20 instead of 4.
Why did you pick the service branch you joined?
Well, there was 4 of us from high school that wanted to go into service together, and I had a uncle that had a friend that was in the Air Force, a recruiter, and he got us started, got us in.
How old were you?
17.
Do you recall your first days in service?
It was a long day.
Yeah.
We left Anderson, Kentucky, and went to Louisville, had a bunch of testing and shots and sworn in. Next day we went up to Sampson, New York for basic.
Tell me about your first boot camp / training experiences.
It wasn't really too bad. We had our ups and downs, but it was a little rough at times. But we had a real good TI, a drill instructor, that got to us, got the job done, and we ended up at the top flight in the group when I was there.
How did you get through it?
Pardon me?
How did you get through it? Boot camp?
I got through it pretty good. I thought I had no trouble. I enjoyed it.
What type of work did you perform while in the service?
Before,
No, while in the service.
while in the service,
Yeah.
oh, jet aircraft mechanic. Over 2 engines, B-47s, B-52s, and 135s.
What did they teach you in the service?
Oh, I suppose how to be a man and how to supervise and how to be a mechanic and inspect aircraft.
Where did you serve?
After basic training in Amarillo, Texas for tech school, I went to Lincoln Air Force Base, Puerto Rico for 3 years, Washington, D.C. for 4 years. Yeah. And Wichita, McConnell Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas. Then a year over in Thailand, over there getting the B-52s, flying over to Vietnam, getting them ready. And then back to Wichita for about 6 months before I got out of service.
Did you serve during a war?
Just during the Vietnam, but war.
Did you see combat?
No.
Did you write home often?
Oh, I suppose once or twice a week. We'll set tapes more than anything.
Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Thailand was long. It was 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 7 days a week. Maybe got 1 day off after that, and you started over again. And I enjoyed Washington, D.C. when we were there. That was an elite job. Special assignment, really. Puerto Rico, It wasn't too bad. Hot, humid, rained every day at 3 o'clock. and I went different places. Well, my wife stayed there the whole time, 3 years, but I got to go different places flying on the B-52s. And
Were you awarded any medals or citations?
no special medals, no.
How did you get promoted?
I reckon just by my work ethics and bosses liked my work.
What was the highest rank you achieved?
E6 tech sergeant.
How did you stay in touch with your family?
Mostly when I was overseas, or otherwise we were together. Overseas it was just tapes and letters. Otherwise we were pretty well together.
What was the food like?
Pardon me?
What was the food like?
Oh, food, I didn't mind it too much, except for maybe when it was flying, we'd get some tin can food. and sometimes, that was the first part of my 10 years. After that, we had box lunches that had a little bit of chicken or sandwiches in it, different sandwiches. It wasn't bad. England, when I was over there, I went over there 165 pounds and come back almost 200. They had whole milk, English whole milk, and it's a lot richer than. And we all gained weight because we liked it.
Did you feel pressure or stress?
No.
Was there something special you did for good luck?
For what?
For good luck?
Good luck?
Did you do anything special for good luck?
Oh, not really. Just went to church a whole lot and helped. Got out of everything.
How did people entertain themselves?
Well, a lot of us played pinochle, or we'd go to different things. Over in Spain, when I was there, went to bullfights a whole lot, and just sightseeing. England, we went to around Buckingham Palace, and seen that, and all the things there. And went fishing in a boat, Thailand, for recreation one weekend. We had off there. A bunch of us went out in the middle of the bay there. Then come back, and a bunch of people had a big bonfire going with a little bit of everything cooked there. Shrimp, lobsters, squid, clams, oysters. It was all cooking right around this great big huge fire. Some of it tasted good, and it was all good. Of course, they had their drinks.
What did you do when on leave?
I come home and just be with my family mostly, and traveled to here in Nebraska or to Kentucky to my family.
Did you go anywhere on leave?
Not particular, I don't think. I just come back to family. That's all. We didn't do anything different. Couldn't afford to yet.
Do you recall any particularly humorous or unusual events?
Oh, not right offhand. Got in trouble with a couple of officers a couple of times with get that straightened out. I had one in the airplane and didn't want me to raise up a door in the airplane to make sure the landing gear was down, because the indicator up in the cockpit showed it wasn't. So I had to go back and on the EC-135s, and there's an officer had his suitcase, top secret stuff in it, on top of the door. I started moving it, and he jumped all over me. and said, "You don't touch it." And I said, "Would you move it then?" He said, "I have no reason to move it." So I went back up and got the aircraft commander. And he come back, he went up one side the other, that colonel. And I got that door open where I could look down there and see if that gear was locked in place, and it was. It happened to be locked in place. It's just an indicator up in the cockpit was wrong. So that was no problem.
Do you have photographs from your time in the service?
Pardon me?
Do you have photographs when you were in service?
I don't think so. I didn't quite understand
Do
it.
you have any pictures when you were in service?
Oh, I got, yeah, pictures.
Yeah.
Some of them there, yeah. I got more if we could find them.
Who are the people in the photographs?
Pardon me?
Who are the people in the pictures?
Oh, not many. Mostly airplanes, I think, and there's an airplane there that was down in tech school that taught me how. There's some more. There's a bunch of pictures here. I think it's a group of workers somewhere. And that's looking at the cockpit of a B-52, just towards the wing, and got one engine in it, or two engines, I reckon, in it. Yeah. I don't know. You can't see that one. I don't know what that one is. I can't see so far away. That's not good. Different again. And there's a picture of Big Ben in England. There was some friends in somewheres before I got married. And these must be some aircraft display show I went to or something somewhere. There's my airplane that I worked on in Lincoln, B-47. And it was on a display for an open house one time. Man, that's a crazy thing. This picture is basic training group. That's how long. This picture is the first day I think I got to Lincoln Air Force Base, right out of base after. I was a airman third class then, one stripe. We all were. That was the whole group that got stationed there. Now this is one you might want to show for sure. That's the B-52 in color. What we got here? That's something that my air show was. How'd they get in there? Oh, there's a picture of us going in this service. Newspaper. This is the recruiter. Getting ready to leave. It was in the newspaper. I think that's about all I got right now. Doggone it, and I wish I had more for you. There's another. I'm not sure it's written down there, but I can't read it now. There's on the back too. Here's my B-47 again. That's a main street in Lakeland Heath, England, where I was. I think it is. Well, there's my B-47 again. I think you see no. Now we want to say that, put that on the display. SAC was the main thing in the Air Force, Strategic Air Command. They were in charge of everything, bombing and all the, every place where the planes went, they were. And, they got B-47s with about the second airplane I think they had in there. Then we got rid of them, or that story. Oh, I'm getting rid of it, the B-47s.
Did you make any close friends while in the service?
Oh yes, I had a few of them. There's still some still alive. We visit once in a while. There's I think
Christmas cards.
one classmate in it is still alive.
Yeah.
Bobby Thomas. I think he's still alive. He lives in Florida. I don't visit with him only in class reunions. They might have one this summer. I don't know yet. And the people I worked for first got to Lincoln. There, like I said, there's two of them, my first bosses. They're still alive. They're just a few years older than I am. We still visit. Jim's, they are George Nye and Billy Williams. And had another one who was Jim Sign, and he passed away 3 or 4 years ago. He was a good, in fact, he was my best man at my wedding, at our wedding.
His kids go to school here. Sign kids, the sign kids, his grandkids are in school here.
Did you keep a personal diary?
No,
No. Do you recall the day your service ended?
oh yes, it was a great day. Like I say, it was all over with then. We were up on the stage with 3 other guys, I think it was, all older than I am. There was 4 of us. And some general, I forget now who he was, gave us our discharge papers. And it was all over with. Wasn't very many people there at all, just family for everybody, and that was it.
Where were you when this happened?
Wichita, McConnell Air Force Base, Wichita, Kansas.
What did you do in the days and weeks afterward?
Oh, after I got out, I come back here and worked at Wheeler's Farm Supply here in Aurora. Lived here. I've lived here ever since, up to now. After Wheeler's, I went to out on her folks' farm and worked for maybe about 2.5 years because her dad got sick and had to go out there and help there a little bit, milk cows. Then after that, I had my application in at John Deere dealer here in Aurora. Got called up there and worked 20 years there. Then after that, I mowed grass for the city parks about 5 or 6 years. And that's it.
So you didn't go back to school after you
No.
came out? Did you join a veterans organization?
No.
Do you attend reunions?
Yes. 307th Bomb Wing reunion out of Lincoln, and a couple of times, yes. One was in Denver, one was out in Ohio, and
Lincoln.
Lincoln twice. They had them in Lincoln twice. After that, I think they disbanded and not doing. Everybody got too old. They couldn't. Nobody was coming.
Couldn't travel.
Hmm?
Couldn't travel.
What did you do? What did you go on to do as a career after the war?
Just what I said. I didn't.
Just worked at a few jobs.
Yeah.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Well, my opinion of the war was, I think we should have stayed out of Vietnam, but we didn't. But I done my duty, I hope, and everything to end it. But doing that, and the other part of my service was the Cold War, keep Russia and Cuba and all them other from coming over here and everything, but threatening them with nuclear bomb and everything in our airplanes. So go get them. We were parked everywhere sometimes.
Is there anything you would like to add to, oh, never mind. Is there anything you would like to add that we have not covered in this interview?
No, I enjoyed doing it. I made a very good impression, but I'm happy I had my 20 years in service and served. And, I hope everybody appreciates it. Thank you.